expensive. We're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the party's mixed, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome into episode 147 of Phired Up. Check us out at firedupsports.com. I'm your host, Dom Console. With me, as always, Chris Lucia. What's up, buddy?
What's up, guys? What's up, Dom?
Dude, I'm in the nursery this week. The baby's not sleeping in here right now, so you know what, dude? Like, it's a little warm, but like I'm in a rocking chair. I'm sitting comfortably. Like, I mean, I'm on the couch usually, but like this is like a different setup for me.
Yeah, dude, you're ready to go. You're, in case she's crying in the middle of the night, you're getting your rock on now.
Yep.
Get the rhythm ready.
Yeah. So, what's going on with you? Anything new?
No, nothing's new. You know what's crazy? When you need a haircut and you know it's time that you need a haircut and you're just like looking, you're like, man, I really need a haircut.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really need a haircut.
Dude,
I've been waiting for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm wolfing over here. Only so much hair gel could like keep that down. And then by this time it all fades away or evaporates. So like, I just scheduled my haircut yesterday for Wednesday. So I'm getting ready to cut it off. So
Yeah, I think Thursday I'll go on my day off. Just pop in, get it cut down, and be good for another 6 weeks.
Yeah, right. All right, well, I guess we can get into it, right? Definitely want to talk baseball. Obviously, opening day. Well, really, the season really started last week with the Dodgers and the Padres splitting the series. And that kind of like leads me into what I want to talk about first before we talk about the Phillies opening day. I definitely want to talk about the upcoming season, some different things to talk about. But first things first,
Yamamoto getting lit up.
Well, we could if you want. Honestly, it's so funny because somebody else that does the show with us actually moved up to the first pick in our draft, in our fantasy league, in our draft. I think he did it last Monday actually before the show.
Yeah.
For Yamamoto, and I as a competitor, I hope he gets lit up this year.
Every game.
No, I genuinely do. You always want to see these guys play well, but he got it lit up. He got it taken out in the first inning, right?
Yep.
5 runs in the first inning.
Make it past the first.
I do think his fastball is going to get hit this year.
Yeah.
I think he's got really good stuff, like other stuff, but I think his fastball mostly is going to get rocked this year.
Yeah.
He will adjust to, like, he's a good enough pitcher. You don't win 3 straight Cy Youngs in the second, third best league in the world.
It's absolutely the second best.
Yeah. So like, you don't win 3 Cy Youngs by accident. So I definitely think he's going to adjust. It's just a matter of like when, that may be in May, it may be June, it may be July, it may be next year. So
yeah, he probably just needs some time to figure out. I mean, the hitters here are obviously the best in the world. I mean, they don't win the baseball classic, but they're obviously the best in the world.
And you also have to take into consideration too, like the Trey Turners and the Xander Bogaerts. It's a good kind of example because the Padres, but like playing the Padres, but like going somewhere new for the first time, the first year, it's an adjustment. Like he's not just moving cities; he's moving countries, time zones.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, he gets lit up. What was it? Second game that he pitched.
Yeah. Then it was his first like actual game as a Dodger that counted for anything.
Right. So yeah, so they split the series 1-1. But obviously I wanted to talk about the
Hold
biggest
up.
story.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
One more thing before you get into what you want to get
Okay.
into.
Okay.
You see, next year they're already talking about what the season opener is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be in Japan, right? Chicago, the Cubs, and the Dodgers.
And Dodgers and Cubs.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty good because you do get Yamamoto, you get Seiya Suzuki,
Right.
you get
Shohei.
who's the other kid, the pitcher for the Cubs that they signed? That
Oh, yeah. I forget his name.
I think it was Iwakuna. So you get
Something like that, yeah.
You get like 4 premier Japanese players in one building. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like you think 2001 probably Ichiro comes over. That was like when it first started, is like that immersion over here from Japan.
Yeah.
Now we're talking, what's that, 22 years ago, 23 years ago? Now you're talking about
2000, right? Am I too loud or too low?
You're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're talking about possibly the best player in the game, one of the highest paid pitchers in the game, and the kid Iwakuma is going to probably be up there. You know, I'm not saying he's going to be top 10, but he's going to be a top pitcher in the game. And then he is a good player. You look at like 01 to now, like Japan's putting out some talent.
Yeah, absolutely. I find it interesting too that people are like complaining that like the Dodgers get 2 straight, overseas games that open up the season. It's like you just explained it. Like they're the 2 teams that have
the most players.
A lot of Japanese players, and like, and they're the best roster in the league. Like, it's not by accident.
And MLB could care less. They look at one thing and one thing only: what's going to sell, and that's going to sell. That's
right.
going to. The stadiums over there in Japan hold like 120,000 people in those stadiums. And if you get all of those guys that came from Japan, they're going to sell that stadium out. That's what that's what the MLB cares about at the end of the day. They don't care
absolutely.
anything else but that.
It puts more eyes.
You know what I'm thinking, Dom? When does it happen, the switch happen, that baseball players, that like major league teams buy NPB teams and they get sent over there instead of the minor leagues? Like there's a guy that's ready to come up, instead of going to AAA, they go and play in Japan for 2 weeks or start the season in Japan.
That's like a big business thing, right? Like that's like way more than just
it's
baseball, Right. And like I think maybe it could get there, but I think that's a while.
Okay.
Maybe in our lifetime, I think that could happen, possibly. But again, like you're talking about international money, you're talking about a lot of business, you're talking about basically the MLB kind of taking over that league in a sense.
Yeah.
Not necessarily taking over, but like becoming a huge partner, and like for it to be a stepping stone to get here, like obviously it has to be underneath the MLB in a way.
Yeah.
So could it get there? Sure, but like I think you're looking at a really long time. It's not a bad idea though.
Do you think the NPB is better than AA?
I think it's the second best. I think it's the second best league in the world.
But do you think it's better than AA baseball?
Yeah, it's probably better than AAA. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you get a guy and you have him over there, and you know what I mean? Like you put him over there and you see if they can face major league ready stuff.
I don't know the answer to this, but I'm very curious as to why like more players don't come from Japan.
As far as like Japanese players, or like players that go over there and come back.
No. Yeah, as far as like Japanese players that coming here.
So
obviously you're seeing it more and more.
I think that I've watched a documentary on this before. The Japanese game is different than the Major League Baseball game. They're all about sportsmanship over there. It's not so much about winning over there. It's about like playing a good game.
Right.
And like that's not what America's about. America's all about like they tie in Japan. I don't know if you know that, but a game will end in a tie, and like they're not trying to like destroy each other. They're just trying to like play the sport the way it's supposed to be played. And I also think that Japan teaches their hitters to do the slap hitting, and I don't think that that's very popular in the United States. Like that doesn't draw attention.
It definitely seems like more small ball, because like you look at the guys that come over, Yoshida and Suzuki, like the even Ichiro Suzuki, but even the guy, but I'm going to take Hideki out of it. I think let's focus more on like Ichiro, Seiya Suzuki, who did I say?
The
The
dude
kid from
from
Boston.
Austin,
Yeah,
Yamamoto,
no,
Yoshida.
Yoshida, yeah, Yoshida.
Yeah.
You look at those types of players, and even the Korean, like, they're not necessarily like the power hitting. Like they'll get you 15 homers, but like that's what makes Otani like so special. Like he's an alien because like, and I mean this in a very serious way. Like even the biological makeup of Otani, like a lot of Asian players are not 6'4",
No.
200
Yeah.
plus pounds. Like, and he's pure like he's muscle. He's a freak. Like and I mean that in a good way. But like that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's so interesting where like he's just a specimen and like they don't produce as much of that, and I think that's the way the game is now. It's like homers and
Yep.
and hitting for
Launching
power,
homers.
where like they're much. It seems like much more like small ball over
Yeah.
there.
Absolutely.
Get the ball down the line, hit it in the gap.
Dude, did
Hit
you ever
and
watch
run.
Ichiro's Ichiro had like a documentary. You ever see, like, he said if you wanted him to, he could probably hit 40 home runs a year, but his batting average would be like 220.
Right,
He's like, I could definitely go yard more. You just need to sacrifice my batting average.
right. Yeah, I find it very interesting. I guess yeah, that kind of answers my question. Like, why does it take for so long for guys to get here, and why do they not come? Like, why do guys as many guys come over?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I think it'll be fun next year. The Phillies obviously go to
London.
London. They play the Mets. So like it kind of seems like baseball is kind of starting to do this. Football, the NFL is like kind of starting to do this a little bit, where like we're going all over the world to kind of show the rest of the world, like, these are our sports. And obviously, baseball played in more places than the football is, but like, I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. I think especially going to London, like they don't really play. They play cricket. Like they don't play baseball. So like, I think it's cool to go over there and kind of show the game to other people.
They have to stay relevant. Like we've talked about it on here before. As much as we love the other four sports, and like we don't even have the union down at the bottom of our ticker,
right?
But like soccer is going to become like it's going to.
Oh yeah, we're going 5 for 5 soon. Like we're pretty close to it.
Soccer might wind up taking over the United States. Like it could wind up going to like second team, like behind football. It could probably go there.
I think you have to wait a little like a while, because I think that like look at our parents' generation. Like most of them don't watch soccer. They never played soccer. Soccer wasn't a thing. And then you go into our generation where more kids have played, and there's definitely more of a
draw.
Yeah, there's more of a draw. There's definitely more commercial for it. Obviously having two of the probably greatest players of all time, in their prime, or kind of leaving their prime a little bit, like in their prime, Ronaldo and Messi. Like, I definitely think that our kids would probably, their generation would probably be more into it than we are, while we're more into it than our parents.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like I definitely think it will grow, and it'll become the 4 for 4 will kind of slowly become the 5 for 5.
Yeah.
So
I think baseball's trying to do that opposite, where they're trying to get into other markets where it's like, hey, we see what soccer did and how long it took for it to get immersed into the United States. So let's try and start now, like getting it out there.
I definitely think that I can't remember if we talked about it on the show a couple weeks ago or not. It might have just been me and Mike, or it might have been you and I, or all three of us. But and it may not even have been on the show, but just how much baseball has changed the last like 4 or 5 years. Like, listen, COVID was horrible. I hated it just like everybody else. But it brought us two great things in the sports world. One, Tyrese Maxey, because if he played that March Madness tournament, he's definitely going
Top
closer
10.
Closer to 10 than he is to what they pick
21.
That's one, and two is it sped up the changes for baseball. Like eventually baseball was going to get there, but it sped everything. Bases got bigger, the steal rule, the pitch clock,
the DH.
The DH in both leagues was
Yeah.
just huge. Like that's something like people like want to argue, like the old baseball people, like old timers that like just love the National League, the pitcher. Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Like
Yeah,
who
and,
wants to watch a pitcher hit?
and American League didn't start that until 1995 anyway. So it's not like that always existed. Like
Right. And then you had the what was that, like 97 or 98 when the leagues finally interleague play started.
yeah, before that
So
even yeah, I mean like it
Yeah.
made it better baseball, and it's just going to
Right.
continue to evolve to make it better.
and it kind of was an unfair advantage for a long time. And I was somebody who was always I think both leagues should do the same thing, whether that's the pitcher hits for both leagues or the DH. Obviously, and then the DH came and I was like, all right, I'm in to try it. Like, which with a lot of these rules, like I think every rule that MLB has made, I've been like, let me see how it works and if I like it, and I've liked everything, at least so far. But I was definitely always, they have to do one thing, and I was happy they went with the DH for both leagues. But I was like, let's just see how it goes, and I think it's been a success so far. It's made more people watch. The pitch clock has made more people watch.
Dude, the only thing that I have the issue with the pitch clock is this is really the only thing I have is that normally you would go to a game and how long would it last? 3.5, 4 hours.
Yeah.
So you'd go there. You're paying for 3.5, 4 hours of a game. Your ticket costs $50, but you're getting 4 hours of entertainment. Now you're getting 3 hours of entertainment for the same price.
Sure.
So like that's something where I think, even though I do think baseball out of all four of the sports in the city is the most reasonably priced game to go. You could still go to the 400 levels for $25 and get in the game.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. I being at a game before the pitch clock and after the pitch clock, I don't find there to be too much of a difference. I think there's more of a difference at home, which I like. I like it quicker on my couch. I don't find it as much of a difference in the game than I do with it or before and after. Personally, I understand that, and I understand people are upset. Like you can't go run and get a beer. I get it. I'm not that person, but like I understand. Like, but I just think just like the players who had to adjust, like going from spring training and the first month of baseball last year, because it was last year, right?
Yeah, it was hard.
It was hard. It was a hard adjustment. Like, but by July they figured it out. And like, and like, that's the same thing with the fans that go to games that want to buy beer and want to get up and go to the bathroom and things. You'll figure it out. Like, go in a little bit earlier, get a couple beers, and you sit down
a couple at a time, but
you'll
figure it out.
Right. You'll adjust. But that's just a personal thing. Like, I understand completely where people are coming from. It's just I'm just not that person that goes to a game and buys 5 beers and
Yeah. Dude, and the best thing that's really helped out the sports, honestly, is the gambling.
Sure.
Like the being able to live sit there and say, man, Schwarber's going to hit a home run right now. Let me put $10 on it.
Yeah.
So like that's definitely helped out all of the sports. Like that quick live in-game, man, if he hits this home run right now, I just put $5. I'm going to walk out here with $250. I think sports betting, when it's done correctly, helps the sports tremendously.
Oh, 100%. And even if it's not done correctly, because people have the itch, like I lost this time, but like I'm gonna get them next time. Like people don't stop gambling when they lose. So like I completely agree. It's really helped all the sports. I totally agree. And it's so funny because I love that's what I loved about playoff baseball. Like you're watching the game, but like every game for the Phillies, watching the playoffs, I threw a parlay on something.
Phillies. Yeah, of course.
I threw a parlay, or I bet the game, or
it makes people tune in more.
Yeah,
because like you actually have something to lose. Like before, if you're sitting at home and you're watching Sunday Night Baseball and it's Toronto and Oakland, I'm not putting that on because what in the world. But you put a $10 bet on a parlay on it. Now you're tuned in for it.
For
you
sure.
Care about what's happening,
dude. I had this in the playoffs. I would always do strikeouts, so I would probably take like say it was Nola. Like I would do Nola 5+ strikeouts. I would do like Schwarber to hit a homer, Trey Turner to have a hit, and like Bryce to have an RBI or something. Yeah, something like that. Like, and you parlay that together, and like you're just rooting for it the whole game. It makes it even more fun. So I totally agree. So speaking of gambling, I guess that can kind of transition to our topic, which I'm excited to talk about. Obviously the biggest headline in sports right now, and we talked about him a little bit earlier, Shohei Ohtani. This whole like story that's going around about his train or about his
Translator.
Translator. Okay, yeah, I knew it was a trans something. Translator. What do you think about this situation? Because I've seen so many stories. I've seen conspiracies. I've seen things that make sense. I've seen things that don't make sense. I've seen things that I think aren't real. You know what I mean? Like, where's your head at on this?
The only thing that I have is that a lot of people are saying like they were betting like for Shohei Ohtani. Like he was betting for Shohei Ohtani.
In terms of what?
Putting in like over on strikeouts or under on strikeouts, or
but what I mean is putting in for him, or
that's what the guy was putting bets in for Shohei. Like that's what I've heard.
You mean Shohei was saying to his translator, put this in for me in your name. Okay, yeah. I didn't know if you meant like he was betting on Shohei, because this is something that I've seen. Him betting on Shohei to have 6 strikeouts or whatever it is.
Here's my whole issue with it, where I do think that like some stuff's going to come out about it, but Shohei Ohtani won the MVP last year, right? So, and he was an amazing pitcher. You can't guarantee that you're going to go up there and have 3 hits. You can guarantee you're going to go up there and strike out 3 times.
Right.
And that's why I think like he was not betting on himself or putting prop bets in on himself.
Okay.
Because that's so hard to do, to bet over on hits, because you can't guarantee you're going to get a hit. You can guarantee if you're going to strike out 4 times that game.
Right. So, but how do you know that they didn't bet on that to strike out?
Because if he did, they'd be losing a ton of money.
Right, but if you're betting on the fact that Shohei is going to strike out 3 times,
well,
how would you lose money?
If I mean, you wouldn't. You would
right.
If he struck out 3 times, yeah. But what I'm saying is he had an MVP season.
True. No. I totally. I don't disagree with you. I don't think. What I think happened was, okay. So here's the story. If anybody doesn't know, I guess it was after the second game in Korea against San Diego. Later that day, there was news broke that his translator, who's his best friend, who he took over from the LA Angels to the LA Dodgers, was apparently stole $4.5 or $4.7 million to sports gamble, and apparently Shohei had no idea. The Dodgers.
No. That the first story was that Shohei gave him the money.
No, I thought that was the conspiracy.
I thought the first thing that broke was that Shohei gave him the $4.7 million.
No, he stole the money. Yeah, it was that he stole it.
I thought the stealing came out after when they.
I thought it was the other way around.
Okay,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Look it up. I'm gonna look it up while we're talking.
Okay, so whether he gave him the money or stole the money, one of those stories came out, and then the other came out after. That was like 4.5 or 4.7 million. You might be right, actually. You might be right. It might be that he gave it to him. People went crazy, and then they said no. He actually stole it. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that's what happened.
So then it was a whole idea, which makes it even fishier. But
ton more fishier.
Then it comes out that he steals the 4.5 or 4.7, whatever it is. And the Dodgers wind up releasing him because he is paid through the Dodgers organization. Apparently Shohei had no idea, which I think is also crazy. That you have no idea. And I understand people that have a lot of money they pay people to handle their money, but like it's not $40, you know?
Exactly. And how did he get his hands on your bank account?
Right. So the Dodgers release him, and basically the whole weekend you see conspiracy after conspiracy.
Department of Justice gets involved.
Yeah, meme after meme. I think my favorite meme was Shohei shouldn't go to prison. They should just send him back to the Angels. That should be his punishment.
I like the one that it said breaking news on the Shohei Ohtani situation. We're gonna go live on ESPN Bets from ESPN Bets Casino.
Yeah.
Ken Rosenthal live from Parks Casino.
Yeah, the FanDuel. Yeah,
Yeah.
the FanDuel Center.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, that's the thing we were talking about earlier. Just kind of like it's so prevalent in sports now. It's like it kind of it throws up, like it's throwing up. It hits you in the face with all this gambling. So like, and then we also sports gambling is illegal in 3 states, and one of them is California. So
Yeah.
like, you're not just talking about because like, look, listen, as long as the way that I feel about it, and I've always thought about it, as if he's gambling, I don't care. As long as it's not on baseball, even if it is in California, it is what it is. Obviously it's illegal, but like they're not gonna reprimand him in any way other than probably fines. And like, as long as he's not gambling on baseball, like, what do I give a shit?
But at the same time, why should he not be allowed to gamble on base? Are you talking about Ohtani or his?
Yeah, Ohtani.
Okay.
If it is Ohtani, I'm saying.
Okay.
If it is Ohtani.
Okay, because I was going to say, like, what about Ohtani's brother? He can't put bets in on
his brother. I think his brother would be fine, but the translator definitely shouldn't be able to either. Even though he has no effect on the actual game, I know people that like work for companies that let's just say I know somebody who works for the Flyers who's not, and they do nothing with playing, coaching, management, nothing like that. They're not allowed to gamble on NHL, any of the NHL.
Really?
Yeah. It's like in his like he had to sign a contract. That and basketball, he's not allowed. So like
probably work at the Wells Fargo.
Right. So like,
insider information.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand the translator, if he's betting on baseball, then it's a real problem. And the Dodgers did what they were supposed to do, and they got rid of him. I don't know what to believe. I don't know.
Did you see Shohei came out today?
Yeah, I have some stuff that I wanted to talk about with what he said. I have it right here. So basically, like the Spark Notes, I guess you want to call it, or
Cliff Notes.
The Cliff Notes are basically, he came out and said that his translator, who's also his best friend, came out and he's a liar and he stole his money. But like, how is he able to get into how is he able to steal your money? Yep. 2, somehow he accessed Shohei's accounts without him knowing.
Yep.
And lastly, he didn't realize that we already talked about this. He didn't realize 4.5 million was missing.
Him or his accountants, because he definitely has accountants.
Until after a team meeting, by the way.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think that Ohtani was saying, "Here, let's put a parlay on this. Let's put fucking 3 million on this and parlay it with that." I don't think that was happening. I think he knew what was happening and didn't help his friend. Whether it was whether it's a real problem, whether it's just for fun, I think he knew what was going on. I don't think it was him, and that's still a problem.
Now, if it all comes out that the translator put $4 million on the Super Bowl, do you care anymore?
No, but it's a problem because if it happened in California.
Right, absolutely.
But I don't care about that.
Okay.
Personally.
Okay. So if it came out that it was a football bet,
no.
It at that point becomes like for a local court to figure out, not you to worry about anymore.
Correct.
Like all of your focus on it goes away. You don't care about it anymore. What happens? Okay.
As long as he wasn't doing anything to this game, and even to that point, like, it's not that I care, but like, he shouldn't do it. But like, he's the best player in the world, and like, you really like, how are you going to reprimand the best player in the world, the guy that's changing the game?
Floyd Mayweather puts bets all the time,
right? And I'm sure a lot of guys do.
Yeah,
like Calvin Ridley, who somebody placed a bet, about him going to the Titans. And they were plus. Yeah, there was like a huge bet. I don't know.
I didn't even see that.
It was like I don't know if it was like 10 million, but it was like close to it. There was like or somebody won 10 million or something. It was like the 8th best odds or something, or 7th best odds for him to go to the Titans.
Dude, do you see that every year during the Super Bowl there's a bet, will somebody streak on the field?
Yeah, and then did you see the guy that did it?
The guy that did it.
Yeah,
Like you won millions of dollars. I mean,
he put like 10 grand on it or something.
yeah,
like,
and it
or like
won
something.
like $3 million or
Yeah.
something like that. So I think that's money well spent.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
it's a business move.
if it's not MLB, but he was betting on Japanese baseball, you're good with that too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But right. So that's the thing. It all comes down to, again, like I said, I don't give a shit that it's California. You know, he's doing it in California, but that's.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what the Department of Justice.
The first thing.
Sorry, Dom, you're like going in and out a little bit.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, just a little bit. You're fine now, but
okay,
just like slow down a little bit. I didn't hear what you said.
I didn't say anything. I literally, I think I was just making a dumb face, like, just, and I wasn't saying anything.
I mean, with the Department of Justice involved now, I mean, they're gonna find something out.
Yeah,
the question is like, did this guy go to Shohei and say like, "Hey, dude, throw me under the bus. Like, I'm your guy. You're my guy. Just you can fire me. We're done. Here's a non-disclosure. I'm gonna sign. We're done. Here's 10. I'm gonna give you 10 million for like not saying anything, and here's a non-disclosure."
And also, like, I don't know that like gambling that much. I mean, maybe I'm just stupid, but like, I don't know that gambling that much because I don't know how much he did gamble. Like, I don't know if you gamble $10 million, it means you're like an addict. Like that people are like saying. Like, if you consistently bet millions of dollars, like, yeah, okay, maybe you have a problem, but we don't know how much he's bet. So like,
yeah,
this whole idea
could have been one bet,
right? Like this whole idea
that $5 million bet.
This whole idea that like, he's this gambling addict, and then there's these people that sit like the other side that says like, oh, he doesn't like he doesn't like other sports, and like his former teammates have come out and said like, he doesn't talk about any other sports, which doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
But like because like I've gambled on sports that I don't watch. Like, so I there's just so much going on, and like I'm fascinated by it. And it comes at the perfect time. Like, literally the week of the season opens up. So,
yeah. I mean, do you think that these stories are like purposely put into place by mass media for attention?
Sure. Like, it happens. Absolutely.
Like, do you think like somebody found out before Korea and said like, hey, we're going to break this story at this point? It's going to be good for the game of baseball for publicity's sake.
I think it's definitely possible. It's also the idea that he was on the bench next to Shohei and like 4 hours later broke. Like, you could say like, okay, yeah, you're right. Like they planned it. You can also sit there and say like, he was like, Ohtani knew the entire time, and just like,
or
so there's just so many things.
The guy was blindsided.
Yeah. That's the thing is like, I'm not ruling out the fact that like Shohei did it, and like you said earlier, like his best friend's kind of just taking the fall for him. But yeah, there's just so much going on, and like,
the only thing like, and like I'm not super into this kind of stuff, but like Japanese culture is all about like honor and integrity.
Yeah.
Like they like really are like, that's a huge part of their culture. I don't know if Ohtani would lie.
I'm not going to say he wouldn't lie, but like he's been here long enough now. He's been here since what, 2017? Like,
yep.
Like money, temptation, like that's a real thing. And like money changes people, and like fame changes people.
How much did he just sign? 700 million?
Yeah.
What is 4 million in the grand scheme of it, of 700 million?
Well, also too, to actually back that up even more, how much he's got from endorsement deals too.
Of course, he's got to be rolling in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, Jordan was addicted to gambling himself, so I mean, but he was actually addicted to like card games and stuff like that.
Right, dice.
Betting. Yeah, I don't think he was betting on stuff. Did you see the video of Pete Rose today?
I saw that there was a video. I didn't see it though.
Yeah, he said basically all I had to do was say I had an interpreter.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
there were memes too this weekend. It was like him with a younger woman. It might even be his wife. I don't even know, but like a younger woman who's of Asian descent, and like basically like, is that all I had to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, so that's kind of the situation right now. Really quick, we have a comment here. Where's Mike? I killed him. He's no longer alive. No, I'm just kidding. He's out sick this week, so he's a little under the weather. But we're holding it down. So, we got another one here. My boy Shay. It was Yamamoto all.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
he probably put the bet in on over 5 runs in the first inning.
Yeah. Right.
Killed it.
Right.
Killed it. You know what's weird? That nobody has gotten to the interpreter yet. Like,
yeah. Well, did he do it? Didn't he do it in an ESPN interview?
Did he? I haven't seen anything like that.
I thought that it was like a weird interview too. Like his responses were like kind of strange, which like of course like and it doesn't matter if it was or wasn't strange. Like people are gonna twist it like, oh, it's a what he said was weird, and like he didn't answer it the right way, and like this, that, and the other, and it's like of course you're gonna twist it that way because you want the conspiracy.
Yeah.
But I read something where like it was like an interview style, like them asking him like, is this true? Did you steal it? Yep, I did. Blah blah blah.
Oh,
I also
did?
find it fun. Yeah, I also find it funny too that apparently he said he went to a university, and the university came out and said that we have no record that he actually went here. Did you see that too?
No.
It was somewhere on the West Coast. I want to say it was like Grand Canyon University, but like they're in my head because they were just in the tournament. But it's like one of those like small like
online universities.
Yeah, like one of those like Division III like schools. So I find that like really funny. It's like somebody was like he's one lie away from going to prison.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a fascinating story.
Very interesting, and it's definitely going to follow Ohtani for this season.
Did you watch his
season?
Yeah.
And they're going to blame it all on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he has a good season, they'll talk about it. Oh, was he involved in it? Like this will carry on the whole season.
I genuinely do hope that it does not affect him. And I really, because I love Ohtani. I think he's the best player in the world. I also have a bet that he has the most homers in the league. So I do.
If he gets suspended, it probably gets voided. At least you get your money back.
I don't think so.
Oh, really?
It's the same thing as like him getting hurt, right? Like,
yeah, sure.
I would think. I guess that's the gamble you take, right? But what was I saying here? I genuinely do hope like everything does come out, the truth does come out, and I hope that it's he wasn't betting on baseball, and he, yeah. So, sorry, I was just reading this.
What is that comment?
Yeah, that's what I was reading. I haven't even read it. I'm just gonna show it. Do you think that Rex Ryan's photo of his wife's feet on his desk left a lasting impact on the Eagles that could impact them? Now we got trolls.
Oh man,
we spelled fired wrong.
Yep, you're right.
Hey guys, do you realize you spelled fired wrong? No, I didn't, jerk off.
It's probably Mike. It's Mike at home.
Probably. Her name's Ellie K. That's a dumb name. It's spelled. Wait, she said it's spelled with an F. Thanks, Ellie.
Ellie, you've been a wonderful fan. Thank you.
I just what would we do without you, Ellie? I just love these trolls, but yeah, no, I don't think that that Rex Ryan's photo of his wife's feet on his desktop left a lasting impact on the Eagles that could impact them. No, I don't. But yeah. Anyway, let's start talking about the Phillies here. I'm just reading these comments. They're really funny. Yeah. All right. So, let's take a look at the Philly season. Obviously the season starts Thursday. I kind of want to do something cool because we've been talking about the last few weeks. I kind of wanted to go over our predictions, our projections, whatever you want to call them, for the Phillies superlatives. So I just have a couple like things here. I want to get your opinion. I'll give you mine. We'll kind of make predictions.
When you sent this to me, I was like, man, I don't know where he's going, but I'm pretty excited about this.
Okay. So first off, I'm gonna give a category, and we're just gonna name the guy that we think could fit this category for this season.
Okay.
So let's just start off with the big one, MVP. Who's gonna be the MVP for the Phillies this year?
The easy answer here would be Bryce Harper. That would be the easiest answer. Okay. But I want to go a little different here. Like, I think I want to go Trey Turner. I think Turner is going to be the guy this year that I think he's going to be more consistent. Even though I really, really, really want to say, like, it's of course going to be Bryce Harper, but I think it's going to be Trey.
Okay. It looks like Shay kind of agrees too. Trey and Stott are going to be stepping up this season. So I'm going to go Harper because I genuinely think that with a full season, you get a full season fully healthy.
Is he though?
What do you mean?
Dealing with some back injuries already.
I think it's just stiffness. I genuinely, and he's back already. He played the last couple days. I think it's just precautionary. I think it's just,
You know what somebody said about him? He swings the bat so hard that's probably why he torques his back because of how hard he swings the bat.
It could be. But I'm gonna go Bryce because I just genuinely do think with a full healthy season, he is that team. He is the city. So I just think that he goes, the team goes. So I'm gonna go with the easy answer. I'm gonna go Bryce.
Okay.
Let's get your opinion on who's gonna win the batting title for the Phillies this year, the best average.
Bryson Stott.
Okay.
Yep.
I originally had him, but I went with somebody else.
I think Stott is gonna be. It depends on where Topper bats him, right? I think that's going to make a huge impact on him. I guess he's going to bat 2.
Everything I'm seeing is 5th.
5th.
Projected 5th.
Okay.
So right now the projections are Schwarber, Turner, Harper, JT, Stott, Bohm, Castellanos, Marsh, Rojas.
Okay.
And that's just a projection. We don't know what they're going to do.
Stott has put on a ton of muscle and
he's a dad now.
He's a dad now, yeah. He's matured a little bit. And I think last year, what did he bat last year? 280? Yeah, I think he's going to be I hope 290, 298, somewhere between 290 and 300. I think that's where he's going to be. I don't think he's going to hit the home runs, and I don't need him to hit the home runs. The only problem is, though, and I know me and you get into this all the time because you as much as think that you're very much old school baseball where in your mind you think if he's batting 5th, he should probably have 90 RBIs, right?
I would like it to be that way, but I know that it's not that way.
You are so good with that stuff. You're if you're a number 4 hitter, you got to have 40 home runs.
Yeah, I wish it was that way, but that's not the league anymore, and I get that. I know that Stott's not going to have 90 plus RBIs. I know he's not going to hit 30 homers, 25 homers. I just know that's not and this team's not built that way. So as much as I am somebody who's like that, where I wish my 4-hitter was a 40 home run guy. I wish that Bohm had more power. I wish that he wouldn't, I wish he would pull the ball more. I definitely am still in that old school mindset, but I also love that Schwarber leads off. So
yeah, you do love that.
So which is ideally he's probably a 4-hitter in this lineup. So
yeah,
so I understand where as long as you're getting power within the first 4, you get 2 in the first 4 that have all the power, then that works for me. I'm fine with JT hitting 4th, who's probably not a 4-hitter, is probably more of a 5-hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Traditionally,
yep.
And obviously they didn't go out and get a power right-handed bat like they probably needed, but Yeah, no, I think Hernandez, Teoscar Hernandez would have been the perfect guy here.
Yep.
Corner outfielder,
Yep.
right-handed power bat.
It's
He
a
can hit
ton of
fourth,
homers.
fifth. Yeah, he'll give you 25, 30 homers. And I don't think he signed for that much, so like it kind of sucks. It's a 1-year deal, so maybe you see him next year. But like
Yeah.
that would have been ideal for me. But like I understand where the league is going and has gone. It just kind of doesn't, your 4-hitter doesn't need to hit 40 homers anymore.
Yeah.
Their leadoff hitter does it. So
Yeah. Who's your batting title champ?
I'm gonna go with who you went with MVP. I'm gonna go Trey.
Okay.
I think Trey hits over 300 this year. I think he comes up big. I think he comes back to form to what he was at the end of last year and the years prior.
Okay.
So, next up we're gonna do. I think this is gonna be the easiest one. Home runs. Who's gonna lead the league? Who's gonna lead the team in homers?
I'm gonna go Harper. You're gonna go Schwarber though.
Yeah, I don't know that Schwarber hits another because what did he hit last year? 47.
Was it 47 last year?
And then, or it might have been 46 and then 48 the year before.
Yeah.
Regardless, I don't know that he goes 3 straight years of 45 plus, but I definitely think he hits 35, 40.
The only thing that scares me with Schwarber is that if you don't, he hit 47 last year.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can figure out how to pitch to him, or you could walk him and just set up a double. You know what I mean? He's more of a liability on the bases than he's going to help you.
Yeah, I just like the fact that he leads off 1 time a game, and that's why he walks so much, is because he's so dangerous with the home run. Especially since coming here, like he's had 2 career home run years. I think that it's very important to have him in the leadoff spot because you have guys like Brandon Marsh and Nick Castellanos who can get on base at the bottom of the order. Let's say Castellanos hits 7th and he leads off. He gets on. Marsh gets on. It's 1st and 3rd. Let's say Rojas pops out. It's 1 out, and you have a guy on 1st and 3rd, and Schwarber's up with 1 out. Like
pitch to him,
right?
Yes.
So, I think that's important, and I think that because he gets the most at bats on the team, like he's gonna have the most at bats if he leads off and he plays all year. I just think he has more of a chance to hit homers.
Yeah.
But I think he's in that 35 to 40 range this year. I think he takes a little bit of a step back. I hope he hits close to 50 again. I'll take it. But I think him and Harper are close. I do think Harper hits 35, and I think Schwarber hits 40.
Okay, fair.
I also have the overs for Harper's homers this year.
What is it?
31 and a half, I think, or,
Oh, man,
or 30 and a half. I forget what it is.
That over?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish I could do an alternate, honestly. I would do like 35.
Yeah.
So you got Bryce, I got Kyle. All right, next we're gonna do RBIs. Who do you think leads the team in RBIs this year?
Why don't you go first here?
I think I'm gonna go Bryce, because I think that's what helps him be the MVP. I think he's a 3-hitter. I think that, like I said, the bottom of the order is so good at getting on. It gives the guys at the top of the order, a chance to hit these guys in.
Yeah.
And I think him and Schwarber are going to be close. Schwarber had over 100 RBIs last year. I think he had 102.
104.
Or 104? Okay.
Yep.
It's the first time in his career with over 100. Harper's only ever had it twice. But I think he comes because I think he's got an MVP year. I also
Me too.
Agree with
that.
So did I might have told you last week or the week before. I had a free $5 bet.
Yeah.
So I fired in Harper plus 1,200.
Yeah.
So I'm riding with it, man. I think he has over 100 RBIs this year. As long as he stays healthy, like I think it's his year.
I'm gonna go with Harper too. Then.
Okay.
That's who I was gonna go. I feel like I keep picking him for a lot of things.
But he's a top 10 player in the world. Like he's the guy. Like I genuinely do think for a while Jimmy Rollins was my favorite Philly ever. I think Harper's taken over.
Okay. I mean, and you still got 8 more years of him, or whatever.
Right. I also think he's a World Series away from being the best ever.
Really?
Yeah. I think if he wins a World Series and he's a big part of it, and which he probably will be, he has to be, right? Like I genuinely do think he passes Schmidt, like as the greatest Philly ever, because Schmidt's
Really?
only got one. Well, think about it, right? So I think Schmidt has 3 MVPs. If Bryce gets one more MVP, gets a World Series, yes, he doesn't have the homers. Yes, he doesn't have the RBIs. But dude, like the dude is money in the playoffs. Like
Schmidt is the greatest third baseman.
He is. No, he absolutely is. But but if you look at it, like Schmidt was not this much money in the playoffs. Like it's especially as a Philly, like with Harper. Like, I think it's close, but I do think Harper edges out.
Okay, I'm gonna stay with Schmidt there until Harper shows different. Which I think by the end of his career he could. I don't think one World Series win puts him ahead of Schmidt for me.
No, but I think a World Series. I guess I'm assuming that the World Series comes with an MVP, another MVP, and more stuff. Like I was looking at it today, actually with Shay, who's been commenting on our stuff today. I think he's never going to get to 1,600 RBIs in his career. I don't think, because he's at 8 something right now. Another 8 years, I don't know that he gets to 800 more RBIs. But I think he'll get to that 12 to 1,300. I think he'll get over 400 homers. He's at 306.
Yeah, he might get into the 500 range.
He could. It's going to be tough.
200 for 8 years. What's that?
I don't know. I'm not the math guy.
25 home runs a year
for the next 8 years is tough.
Okay.
Especially like you said, like the way he swings could, hurt his back more. Things I could it happen? Absolutely. I just don't know that it happens. I don't know that I feel like he's going to hit 25 homers in the next 8 years. Could he have a season where he hits 35, 30, 22, 25, 28? Sure. But like, I just think the end of that contract, you kind of, maybe not a Miguel Cabrera where he's like totally like hanging off a cliff.
Yeah.
By a finger. But you kind of have to assume from, previous players that like those last 3 years are probably not going to be,
I think the quicker that you're able to transition him into a DH, I think the longer his career will be.
I agree with that. And him going to first really helps too. But yeah, and do I think he could be great at the end of his career? Yeah, like absolutely. Like if anybody could do it, it's him. Like he came back from Tommy John surgery, he's the quickest guy ever, position player ever. Like, so if anybody could do it, you know what? He's gonna hit 500. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in. 200 for the next 8 years. I'm in.
There you go.
All right. So you have who did you have for RBIs? Bryce.
Harper.
Okay. All right. Next, we're gonna go hits. Who's gonna lead the team in hits?
Turner.
Yeah, I agree mainly because I have him having the best average.
Yeah.
Which usually means
yeah,
most hits. But yeah, no, I agree. We've already kind of talked about him. Having that bounce back.
Yep.
Runs scored.
I got to see like where we're at. RBIs. So Harper, I'm thinking is going to lead the RBIs. I'm going to go with Turner.
Okay. That's okay. I'm going to go Schwarber only because of the homers and he leads off and he walks a lot. He's probably going to have the highest on base percentage again. Like, so I just think analytics tell you, not analytics, but like stats tell you that, or numbers tell you that if you're on base more, you probably tend to score more. And I think Schwarber, kind of stays on base the most.
Okay.
All right, let's go to pitching. Cy Young. Who's going to be the Phillies Cy Young? Or be the best pitcher on the Phillies, really?
Wheeler.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that I'm actually talking myself. I know you guys know I'm not a huge Aaron Nola fan. Mm-hmm. I am talking myself more into him, but I do think Wheeler's that guy.
Okay. I think Wheeler is a top 3 National League pitcher. I think he's a top 5 pitcher in the league. The only reason I'm going to go Nola is because simply for the fact that it was first day of pitchers and catchers and a bird shit on him. And that means good luck.
Okay.
And his odds went down a little bit that day for Cy Young. So, which kind of tends to tell you like Vegas liked them a little bit more
that day.
Yeah, right. It's crazy how that happened. So
Yep.
I think it's in the stars. I think
Okay.
Nola is in the top 5 in Cy Young this year.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for it. I know it's really hard to do from his past from showing what he was the last few years. Like you tend to kind of be that to continue to be that guy. So like, and
He's
he
a
hasn't
workhorse.
really.
I mean,
He is
he's a
absolutely.
workhorse. So if anybody could do it, it's going to be him.
Yeah.
Like he could be. I think he's more likely to be in the top 5 Cy Young than Wheeler, but I do think Wheeler is the like. I think he's either boom or bust for me. Nola.
Okay. And then we'll stick to pitchers strikeouts. Who's going to lead the team in strikeouts?
Wheeler.
I'm also going to go Nola here because I think Nola is more of a strikeout. The last 2 years, the last few years, he had over 200 strikeouts consistently.
Yes.
So
I'm gonna stick with Wheeler.
Okay. It's funny because again, like analytics show you, or the numbers kind of show you that Wheeler usually goes longer in his outings, so that shows you that like the odds are that he probably is going to get more strikeouts than Nola.
Yep.
I just think Wheeler's too much of like a ground ball pitcher. He does get his strikeouts, don't get me wrong. But I think he's more of like a soft contact hitter, gets ground balls. Where Nola's more of a he's going to strike you out. He's going to strike you out, or they're going to hit one to live casino. Like it's one or the other.
Yeah, with Otani's translator in there.
Yeah, right.
Byron Betson.
Yeah, so I think that's all I had for pitching, and then I
have
a couple
what about
more.
wins? What about wins?
Oh, wins. Yeah, we could do wins. Tyon Walker. Now, because I think he led them in wins last year, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, 14.
I'm gonna go Mr. Ranger Suarez here.
Okay. All right. I you know what? I'll go with that too. I like that.
I really like Ranger this year. I think he.
Did you take him in fantasy?
Yeah.
In our league?
I don't. No, I didn't.
I was sick. So I think he, and not that anybody really cares, but I think that I think it was like the 8th or 9th round. I was eyeing him up, and I'm like, I really want Ranger, like, but he went like the 8th or 9th round. I'm like, yeah, it's probably a little too high for my taste. But I wanted him bad,
dude. I really, really like him. There's something about him that like he screams Philly too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, he's got. I don't talk about men's balls too much. I'll talk about Rangers balls.
Dude, I watched a video where they talk that he is the most composed pitcher at all times.
Yeah.
Like a ground ball that some guys will run to and hurry up and have to throw it over to first. He takes his time and just like
2 years ago he should have won the Gold Glove, but he didn't have enough innings pitched.
Yeah.
Well, he was hurt.
I did like read an article that said the fielding Bible is probably worth more for defensively than a Gold Glove. Like the fielding Bible, when it comes down to like the statistics that they look at to give the pitcher that, it's harder to win that than it is to win the Golden Glove.
Okay.
So I like him. I think he's on an arbitration contract this year, right?
Arbitration's usually year 3, right? So what's he in year 5?
I think he just went
3, 4,
arbitration.
I'm sorry, it's 4 or 5, 6, right?
Yeah.
Is our ARB years? So yeah, I think it might be his second year in ARB of 3.
It is.
Yeah.
I think they gotta sign him.
Yeah, and it works next year because usually when you have 1 year of ARB left, you tend to see the player on the team come to the deal. To a deal.
He's got a 1 year $5 million contract this year.
What is it?
1 year $5 million.
Okay,
that's a steal.
Yeah, of course. Especially because the guy after him, Tyon Walker's signed a fucking $80 million or whatever it was, $75 million contract for 4 years, and that guy gets lit up.
Yeah.
It's just that's just kind of the way the league works, whether you like it or not. Like, not you personally, but like anybody, it's just kind of the way the league works. Once you get through your rookie, first 6-7 years, that's when you can tend to start to see the money. But I mean, I'm not complaining, but I'd take $5 million.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'll go Ranger with wins. I like that. It also, oh, we could do ERA too. We could do who's gonna have the best ERA. I'm gonna go Ranger
I'm
again.
gonna go Ranger too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Ranger.
We're big Ranger guys.
I
We
am
love
a
Ranger.
I am a big Ranger Suarez guy.
I think Mike is too. Like we should Fired Up Sports the Ranger Suarez podcast.
Yeah, see if he'll come on.
Yeah.
We'll get his translator with us.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll ask him for dude. I think another one that I really liked was Shohei Ohtani. This was yesterday. It was Shohei Ohtani coming on tomorrow to talk about his gambling, whatever. He's also going to give his Sweet 16 parlay.
Yeah, yeah. Get ready to take it in.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna Ranger too. Is that it for pitching? Like, are there any other?
No.
Okay.
Losses.
So next,
know who has losses and saves? If you want to go there.
I mean, we could talk about saves. I think it's interesting because I think Alvarado's going to get the most opportunity, but I wouldn't be surprised to eventually see Kirkring.
Yeah, I like Kirk.
Later in the year.
I also
get more opportunity at least.
I also love this guy. I think I've talked about it before. Strom.
Yeah.
I think Strom, and they just re-signed him.
Yep.
So I think like if we could give him a chance to get into that.
I don't know that he's a save guy. Will he get the opportunity on a night in July? It's very possible. But I think they're expecting a bigger role out of him this year compared to last year. With last year, he was kind of the long man, kind of the fifth, sixth inning guy that, would come in because Tyon Walker was through a million pitches in the fourth inning.
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to say, here's the ball for a save, but I do think they're going to say, all right, it's the 7th, 8th inning. We have two lefties, coming up, due up. We're going to call you in. I think you'll see more of that more than like, here's the game. Like,
okay.
Get the save.
You're up one. The 3, 4, 5 hitter are up, and you're going into the bottom of the ninth. Do you want Alvarado out there, or do you want Strom?
As of March 25th, Alvarado.
Okay, you just think he's better in high leverage situations?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I don't hate Alvarado. I just when he's off, and you got to pull him quick.
Yeah.
Like you need to have somebody warming up when he goes out there just to stay loose. Because if he walks one and then throws a wild pitch the next one, you got to pull him. He's somebody that like he'll spin out of control quickly. As much as I love him because he did have a good year last year.
He had a good year last 2 years.
Yeah.
But that's the thing too is I think that he's had he's proven to me enough where he can get out of those sticky situations, and those things are going to happen. Like any pitcher, it's a long season, 162. Like you're going to have games where they're going to blow games. Like it's just inevitable, right? Like
yeah.
As long as it doesn't happen consistently, then I'm fine with. Like not fine with it, but like it happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like as long as it's not like a consistent thing, like it is what it is. But what I do like about Strom is what you said. The same thing about Ranger. Like it's just like kind of the composed. Yep. The moment's not too big. Yep. So I do like that. I just don't know that he's because listen, he transitioned from a starter to a long man to now a middle inning. Yeah, middle inning to set up kind of guy. So like I just don't rush him there yet.
Yeah.
And I also think that halfway through the season at the deadline, I really do think that they could look at more back end. Whether that's the kid from Cleveland or another guy, I do think they'll look into that.
Clase?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah, I do too. I think that we haven't had like a great closer since Papelbon's first year here.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think his first year here was really good, and then after that it had like
sure
we haven't had a great closer.
Yeah, and I think that going back to Kirkring, like I also think that they're gonna really see what they have him in high leverage situations at the end of games. He's very young, so like they're not gonna rush him into that. But that's why I don't think they went out and like got more back end bullpen help yet, because they want to see what Kirkering is. They want to see what Strom is in these higher leverage situations, and they want to see if they have to add at the deadline, which they
Yeah.
probably will.
Yep.
But like, what do we have to add? Is it a big name guy, or is it,
A bunch of pieces?
right?
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's kind of move on. I have a couple more topics here.
I also have something that I want to go through with you before we get out of here.
Okay, yeah. So let's just try to, because it's getting a little late here. Let's just try to fire through these really quick. So this could be multiple guys, some multiple answers. Most likely to win Silver Slugger. So like
Stott at second base.
Okay. It's going to be hard for Harper because there's Goldschmidt, there's Freeman.
I think it's Stott and it's JT.
Okay.
Are my two that I think are going to.
You know what? I'm going to take that back because I think Harper wins the MVP. I'm going to go. I'm going to go Harper too.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Okay.
He hits 40 this year. I know I said earlier 35, but I'll go. I think Will Smith's going to rake this year.
He just doesn't. He doesn't play a ton of games. He splits a lot of time.
I think he'll play enough though.
Okay.
Enough to win a Silver Slugger. Just being behind those guys and being able to see pitches. He's behind Betts, Freeman, and Ohtani. So like. He's gonna see pitches. He's gonna get opportunity. So I could see JT winning it. I agree. I think Stott wins a Silver Slugger. And I think Trey gets one too.
Turner, yeah.
I'm gonna say Stott and Turner. I'm not gonna give it to Bryce. I think Bryce could, but I think those two guys are gonna be your middle infield is gonna be your Silver Sluggers.
Okay.
Gold Gloves. I'm gonna go. You think Stott wins both?
No.
You don't think he wins Gold Glove and Silver Slugger?
No, I think JT wins Gold Glove, and that's it. They're just not a really good defensive team. And actually, I might even just say nobody wins a Gold Glove on the team. Maybe Ranger if he qualifies.
Okay.
As a pitcher. But I don't think anybody else on the team. I don't think they're built defensively.
And I don't think Rojas is going to play as much. That's also something I would love to...
true. I
don't think he plays enough. I don't think he's going to enough.
I wonder if his not hitting the ball is going to hinder him.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. I have three more here. So who do you think is going to be the best bench piece for the Phillies?
Whit Merrifield.
Okay.
Yep,
I agree.
And actually, on top of that, I want to just real quick over under 82 games started for him.
I'm going to go under.
Okay.
I think you're looking at 50, 60.
Okay. Over under 90 games played.
Under.
Okay. I think that he's going to be I think that as much as we're killing the Phillies because they didn't make the moves, I really like the Whit Merrifield move. I think that he can give everybody on the team a break.
Okay. I agree. He could play basically, I mean, I wouldn't love him in center field, but you could put him in the corners. You could play second. You could play third. You could play shortstop.
Yep.
So
you could probably play first if you wanted to, but you also have Bohm that could play first.
Right.
If you're putting Whit at third, you got Sosa that could play first. You got Sosa that could play third.
Yeah.
So are you going Whit too?
What's that?
Are you going Whit with yours?
Yeah. Yep. Although I think Pache's an intriguing one too. I think he plays because he was hurt a lot last year. I think you'll see him quite a bit, and we'll get into that a little bit because I did want to try to throw that in there.
Yeah, of course.
Also, too, this is a very interesting thing that I did not think about. So obviously, I said that I had Harper's overs 30.5 home runs. Parlaying that with Trout, just like Shay says here. Speaking of bets, the lines for Harper and Trout are over 30.5 home runs. Over under parlay worthy on the overs.
It's worthy, definitely. If the only thing that scares me is that Trout doesn't have Ohtani to bail him out, but he didn't before.
Right, he's got an MVP without him.
Yep.
That's the thing too. It's like his health. Like as long as he's healthy, he's the best player in the world. Like one of top 3+ player in the world.
Yep.
So I might look into that. Actually, it's actually not a bad bet. All right. So then the last I have most underrated player on the Phillies.
Underrated.
I'm going to go Suarez.
I think this year, underrated as far as, like, what are we looking at? Like, that they actually have, like, a good year or a better year?
somebody that like kind of like a Jason Worth, where like Jason Worth was the 5
Okay.
hitter. He really benefited, but like he didn't get the credit, but like he probably should have gotten some. He should get some credit. I'm gonna go 2-piecer. I'm gonna say Suarez for pitching. And I'm gonna say Marsh for hitting
All right. So for
or
pitching,
fielding, whatever. Rather,
I'm gonna go. I think it's Ranger. If it's not Ranger, Junior Marte
okay.
in the bullpen.
I like Hoffman too.
Hoffman, yeah. And for hitting, I'm gonna go Alec Bohm.
Okay. That brings me to my next one. Most overrated. I actually think it's Bohm overrated.
Overrated as far as what? Like, are you saying?
I think people. No, I think
His
people
contract,
overvalue him. Yeah, no, it is. I think people value him. No, I think he's improved a lot defensively, which is great. But I just think that. And listen, I'll take the 15 homers, 20 no, not even 20, like 18 homers, the 70 plus RBIs from my 7 hitter or 6 hitter, whatever he is. I will take that, but like, I also kind of am in that old school mindset where like, I want to see him hit 20 to 25. Or 25 plus. I want to see him play great defensively, which he has. I want to see the 90 RBIs. I want to see him pull the ball. And like we say this every year, and I like Bohm, I do. But I think if you get somebody to play his position to make your team better, I think I would do it.
For me, most overrated, JT Realmuto.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, and I still love him. Like like you just said with Bohm, you still love him. I just think that he still gets the best catcher in baseball phrase, and I don't think he's there anymore.
I agree.
My other option would be Nick Castellanos.
Okay.
I think that he hasn't lived up to the contract that he signed, and we allow him to escape out of situations because there's other pieces to talk about.
Okay.
Like he in the playoff series, those last 2 games against Arizona were dreadful.
Right.
Like he didn't have a hit. He didn't even like make contact with the ball. So
okay. Yeah. So I guess that kind of has it for my superlatives. Yeah. So I'm excited.
I like that. All stars.
All stars. I'm gonna say Bryce, Turner, Alvarado.
Okay. I'm going to go Bryce, Turner, and Stott.
Okay.
I think Stott, I mean, the only second baseman that's probably going to give him a run is what? Albies?
Marte.
Ketel Marte.
Yeah.
And who's the other second baseman that's really good?
Bogarts is going to be there now.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Okay.
So. Not that Stott can't do it, but definitely they definitely could. But yeah. So there were a couple other things I want to talk about too in regards to the Phillies. We're running out of time here a little bit.
Yeah. Can I shoot you?
Yeah.
Yep.
All
right.
Because it might be one of the things I want to talk about. So,
what year would you say you remember baseball the best? Like, what year can you say, like, I truly remember the Phillies that season?
2008.
Okay, so before that, you watch, but you don't remember?
I would say
I'll start at 05 for you.
Yeah, I would probably say like 05, 06, yeah.
Okay. Name me from 05 to 2024 who opened the game. Opening
the opening starter?
Yep.
You know what's funny? I actually saw something like this recently and I don't remember. I know that Nola
had from 2018 to 2023.
Okay. I know. See, that's the thing is like I know from like 2010 on. So Roy Halladay,
2010, 2011, 2012,
Cliff Lee,
2014,
so Cole Hamels,
2013 and 2015,
Jeremy Hellickson,
2016, 2017. You're
but
just
before
missing
that.
You're missing 2005 to 2009.
Randy Wolf?
Nope.
John Lieber?
He's 2005 and 2006. You're just missing 2007 to 2009.
Brett Myers.
Yep.
All three?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I knew from 2010 on, but I 2005 to 2009, I was a total guess.
Dude, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you crushed that.
Yeah, so a couple things really quick. Obviously, Rojas looking like he makes the team to start up with the Phillies. It's not totally uncommon for players to come up halfway through the year before and then start in the minors. What are your thoughts on that? Because like I don't know. I see both sides of the argument. I don't know that with his struggles, and I get it. Spring training usually doesn't necessarily mean it translates to the regular season, but I just think the way that he performed in the playoffs offensively, then blending into the spring training, I just think it would be better to start in in AAA, just to play consistently, just to kind of get at bats, because I don't know how many at bats he gets up here every day, and I don't want him to struggle up here and ruin him, because we see so many times in so many sports that these young players get ruined, and I just don't want to ruin him.
What's the difference between him starting up here and
more at bats down in the lower in AAA?
Is he though? Like he's going to switch?
Pache looks really good, man. Yeah, like Pache looks like he's competing for that spot, and he's been hitting in spring training. He's not as good defensively, but he's close. And the way they're going to platoon with Merrifield and Marsh, like, you know, that's why I'm saying if you give him a month in the minors to kind of figure this out a little bit, you could face less, you know, worse pitching, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. And you kind of get hot down there, but at the same time, it's like you kind of, he's your 9-hole hitter, like, let him figure it out up here. You still have his defense, and like, you know, your star should be able to protect him. So like, I see both sides of it.
Yeah, I'm on the second side of that argument. I think your star should be able to protect them.
So that was one point I wanted to talk about. Another thing was the bullpen. The bullpen, I don't know if you saw, was not ranked the last like 5 years, and now for the first time in years, the bullpen is ranked, and they're not just ranked; they're ranked number 1.
Yeah. I think that's going to be good for them. I think that
it's big expectations.
It's big expectations, but they performed before, so it's not. And like, it's those guys like Hoffman that you're going to see, Marte, Strom, who's the Gregory Soto. I know he got lit up the other day, but I don't really care about spring training with that. So yeah, I'm excited for the bullpen. I think the last time where I was excited about it was the year we signed David Robertson the first time.
2017?
Nah, after that, then the second time we got
2019?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
2020, something like that. Maybe even later. It might have been 21.
I think it was 21.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm excited too. We kind of talked a lot about these guys, and I think they really are. And Kerkering, obviously, I think that they're all going to. I think Alvarado's, like I said earlier, is going to get the most opportunity to save games, close out games. But I think you will see a committee.
Yeah, a closer by committee.
There was one other thing I wanted to talk about with the Phillies, but I can't remember. I don't know. But yeah, no, I'm excited. Opening day on Thursday, obviously 3:00 against the Braves. Strider comes back.
Rainy day.
Yeah. Do you think they play Thursday? I heard there's a chance they don't. They push it back to Friday.
80% rain that day.
Right, but it looks like at the time that they start, it's like 3:00. It's like a 40%, and then it goes to 0 for like 3 hours, and then it comes in later. So I'm wondering if they just push it back an hour.
I hope they play. Like I would hate for that not to happen.
I'll miss some of it because I'm driving up to Cooperstown that night.
Right.
So I'll be there Friday and then come home Saturday. But we're leaving Thursday night, so hopefully the rain kind of comes and goes or holds off.
Do you have YouTube TV?
I don't. I have Sling, but I also have the NBC Sports app.
So just put it on the car. Watch it while
Yeah.
you're driving.
Yeah, I'll listen to it on the radio, which isn't a
Yeah.
big deal, you know. But yeah, baseball's back. So
Baseball's back.
well, the next show we'll have a full weekend to talk about. Obviously they play the Atlanta Braves, so yeah, so I'm excited.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think there is a chance here if they play their cards correct, where they have triple digit wins.
Okay.
I think there's a chance, and I think that if their clubhouse is bought into Thompson's messaging about like it's okay to make mistakes, just correct them as you're going, and like don't be too hard on yourself, sort of thing. Like I think that they do have a shot to hit the 100-game mark.
I think that it's really hard because the Braves won 100 games the last 2 years, right? So like
Yep.
it might have been the last 3 years, but I think it's really hard to win multiple 100-game seasons in a row, let alone like 3 or 4. I don't know that the Phillies win the division, but I think it's closer than it was last year and the years prior. I'm going to go on a limb and a hot take. I don't think the Braves win 100 games this year, which is a crazy hot take.
Yeah.
But I do think that they win the division by like 2 or 3 games, and it's like 98 wins, and the Phillies have like 95 or 96. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It's really going to depend on the stars. It's going to depend on this pitching. It's going to depend on what they get at the deadline, whether it's pitching or hitting. But yeah, no, it's exciting. I can't wait.
Dude, we're getting ready for the season to start, and Jordan Montgomery still doesn't have a home.
Still doesn't have a home. I think it's what I think is fascinating about him is, I don't know that because look at it like this, right? Like most of the top end teams that are winning or that are trying to win already have their rotation set up.
Yep.
Oh, that's the other thing I want to talk about really quick. The fifth spot with Tyon Walker going down. Obviously Christopher Sanchez is that 5th spot. Now he moves to the 4th spot. Turnbull kind of becomes your 5th guy. Mick Abel has looked great in spring training. He's just not ready yet, but he might be in a month. So like I'm very curious to see how that goes if Turnbull doesn't work out and or Mick Abel, whatever his name is, Abel.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to see what he does this season if he comes up if they go to the 6-man. We talked about that a couple weeks ago, but
I hope Walker's done for the season. I do.
Yeah.
Because if he's there, he has to play just because of the contract.
Yeah.
You have to play him. I would just wish he's not there.
His biggest problem last year was the 1 inning.
Yeah, if he can get
He'd come out in the 1st inning and he'd look great.
Yep.
The 2nd inning he'd come out, he'd give up 4 runs,
and
then the Phillies would come back.
Yep.
And then he would look great the rest of the game. Like,
yep.
So, but yeah, I think that's it. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here?
No.
All right. Well, just like Mike says every week, you know where to find us: Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere you get your podcast, YouTube now, Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, everything. And like I said, next week we'll have baseball to talk about. So, yeah. So we're gonna get out of here. We'll see everybody next week.